All right, there we go. Welcome to Coffee with Marcus and Mark, the number one stock market show on Spotify and one of the most popular market updates on YouTube. So in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. Today is Wednesday, what is it? The 21st, December 21st. And gosh, the stock market is on a roller coaster ride. Yesterday, stocks finally snapped a 4-day losing streaks, but the S&P was barely breaking above the 3,800 point mark. And we'll see. Then we had building permits coming lower than expected. So could this be an early sign of a recession? So we'll talk about this and also how we are trading these crazy markets. By the way, if this is your first time here, I'm Markus Heitkoetter. This super smart guy over there is my head coach, Markus. And we're real traders who trade live accounts. So therefore, we got a lot of trading experience and we're showing you how we trade these crazy markets. So trust me, we know our stuff and we're not afraid to tell you like it is. If you're looking for some honest insights into the fascinating world of trading, you are in the right place. And gosh, Mark, these markets are just, geez. Where do we start?
Well, I
Let's
guess we
start with the
start with
S&P.
the S&P. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we finished a little bit quiet there and mixed after this pretty big slide that really started with the reversal on Tuesday, even though we didn't finish lower on Tuesday. You see that slide taking out some recent support levels, breaking that trend line, but quite a day today, Marcus.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about it yesterday already that at some point we will see a bounce. And so today we're seeing it. The question is, what is causing it? And for me, this was just technically an oversold condition. And of course, when the markets are bouncing back, they are looking for excuses. So, I mean, let's talk about a few excuses that the markets found today where they say, oh, yeah, you know what, let's actually rally today because let's go back to the S&P and a 5-minute chart here really quick so that we see it. It's basically out of the gate, opening higher and up and away.
Sure, and there's kind of two things I think, and I don't think anything significantly is driving this market higher. Like you said, it's more of a oversold. Let's buy the pullback since it was down so much. But you have some good earnings like Nike. Nike just having a freaking awesome day, up with an earnings beat. There were inventory concerns last quarter, and that seems to be getting better. They're looking at their best day since June 25th of 2021 right now.
Yeah, and then we also have FedEx also reporting earnings, and they are reporting better than expected earnings, up 4.5% right now.
Yeah, their revenue was a little lower than expected, and they said it was due to some weaker demand. But they had an earnings per share beat, and they also said or shared some cost cutting plans, which investors seem to be liking right now.
All right, so let's talk about what is the excuse that the markets have this morning? Well, since these two big companies are reporting pretty late for the last quarter for Q3, it's more or less right now that everybody thinks, oh, and they're not issuing a weaker guidance. So this means that maybe the next earnings season, which is kicking off mid-January, could actually be a good one because Nike, I mean, consumers, FedEx, also what I say consumers. So this means that maybe we are not running into a recession, and especially since FedEx got hammered last time because they warned that the recession will impact their business, and now issuing stronger guidance. That's good news.
Yeah, and as far as the recession goes, even a recession but with a soft landing would be appropriate and something that traders would get behind, right? So here you have just some data, some news that's optimistic or positive. But again, after that big reversal and slide, it was kind of due unless there was just a slew of negative announcements that traders would be concerned about.
Right. But then also this morning, a little bit better than expected, the consumer confidence coming in at 108.3. Better than expected here. So even yesterday, the building permits were lower and the existing home sales are lower than expected. That's kind of good news and showing that we're not in a recession yet.
And this is where this was my number two reason for the day, and I think that in general, is this enough to just drive the markets higher? I don't know, but if you look at that 5-minute chart, we saw that gap higher, and a little bit of that follow through. But you can't argue that the market continued to move higher after that 10 o'clock report. So I think that out of the way, maybe concerned about some big ticket purchases, but feeling a little bit better about inflation and consumer confidence higher.
Yeah. All right. So talking about my bet that we will be above 4,200 by the end of the year. Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
I know, I know. We shall see what happens. So the Santa Claus rally that everybody is waiting for, technically, it starts tomorrow because it's the 5 days. We talked about it last week. It's the 5 days after Christmas, or the last. No, sorry, the last. You had it. The last 5 trading days of the year and the first two of the next year.
Yes, and since we have a holiday on Monday, markets are closed on Monday. Although it's the 26th, it's in observance of Christmas, since Christmas this year falls on a weekend. So, does it include tomorrow or Friday?
No,
It's
this.
Friday.
No, no, this is why it starts. Oh yeah, Friday. Sorry, sorry. Somehow I thought today was Thursday already. This is what happens when you're on vacation.
Yeah,
So anyhow,
yeah.
yeah. So it starts on Friday. You're absolutely right. So this
Okay.
this will be interesting. This will be interesting. But again, I hope that we got above 4,200 because then I'll get some nice takes, not only from you but also from Teresa and Larry, our mastermind members who bet against me. Otherwise, I'll send out some packages. But realistically, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. We'll probably be in this range between 39.50 and maybe 4,050. So, I mean, if anybody right now wants to take a bet, I would say rather to be on the safe side around be above 39.50 or 4,000. But I'm not changing my bet. I'm not changing my bet. I stand by it.
Nah, I'm with you at this point, Marcus. I would imagine that there will be a Santa Claus rally, but this is where, on average, the market has been up 1.2% last 5 days of the year, and going into the first 2 days of the new year. So that only puts us, where we're at right now at about 39.37. So.
Yeah.
It's significant, but it getting up, well above 4,000 could be tricky.
Yeah, we'll see. So, talking about the VIX, the fear index, now again trading at these lows of the range that we have been seeing between 20 and 35. So, right now at 2014. And that's usually another catalyst that there's not a lot of fear in the markets. And we talked about it over the last few days. There was some nervousness, but not really fear in the market. So, also this could help move stocks higher here into the year end, hopefully rally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. So before we talk about our positions, got to talk about Tesla. So Tesla today slightly up, but I mean this slide is just at the lowest point since in 2 years, basically. And we
Yeah.
talked about the Twitter poll that Elon Musk did, where he said, "Should I step down as the CEO?" And you had the numbers, right? Wasn't it 57% that said, "Yeah"?
Yeah. 57.5%. And, then someone suggested that only people with a blue check mark should be able to vote. He has said that he will step down when he finds a replacement and someone crazy enough to take over for him.
Yeah, he actually says foolish enough, but
Oh,
yeah,
foolish.
crazy enough, foolish enough, exactly. But again, this creates uncertainty for Tesla because it basically means, okay, how long will this take? Will this be a few
Yeah.
more days, a few more weeks? Could this be a few more months? Especially the way how he phrased it, foolish enough, means that he has probably pretty high standards that he's trying to accomplish here for the new CEO, and this is where his focus is away from Tesla and Tesla keeps sliding down. Now, one of the things that can work in Tesla's favor is in a few days, we will hear about the Q4 deliveries of Tesla. And they're expected to be at record highs because also the Gigafactory in Berlin is now firing on all cylinders. So we could see a bounce. Let's take a look actually at PowerX and see if there are any puts popping up. Would you take them if there's any interesting puts right now?
You know, no, I don't like selling puts on a stock that's in a free fall. To me, that's just too much risk. And I love being an option seller. I love the wheel strategy. It's very consistent, but when we're selling options, the potential reward is capped. It's limited, right? And so for a stock that's moving like this to cap your profit potential, to me, it's not worth the risk. Yeah, and just not the right strategy for something that's in a free fall like this.
I agree. I agree. So same for me. But I mean, if you're watching this and you said, "Oh my gosh, I always wanted to own Tesla at $125 a share," right now it's still trading at 139. So you get paid to buy Tesla at a 10% discount, and that's how we see the wheel strategy. Again, not necessarily for us, but if somebody says, "Oh my gosh, with the Q4 deliveries are being released here in the next few days," I think it's I can't remember exactly when it is, but it's coming up. That might be an opportunity, but not for us.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're gonna buy this fallen knife, then you might as well squeeze out some extra, premium and buy it at a discount.
Yeah. But I mean, with the markets bouncing back, I mean, we're not seeing it necessarily in Tesla today because Tesla
No.
usually over proportionally. God, what a word! is looking at this. Okay, let's take a look at our position. CTRA, we got assigned at 26. So right now, also open higher, trading at around 25. So for this week's calls, there's probably not enough premium in there unless we move to 25.50. But if you move a little bit higher, we can maybe take a look at next week's calls, right?
Yeah, and I've been keeping an eye on next week, and we're just under what we'd want. Well, right now bids 10, offers 20. I think we want 22 cents at a minimum
Yeah.
for that 30% annualized. But if we could pop above 25 here, we're getting back to where we opened up the day. And if there's a little more follow through, it is possible to maybe get that premium that we're looking for.
Yeah, okay. Not yet. Then we also have the Googles. And so Google, let's see where we are today. So also higher right now, up 0.8% from yesterday after the slide. So bouncing back a little bit. Let's see what's happening there. Right now, not being able to sell calls. And then NVIDIA. So gotta love NVIDIA. Here we are again. Today up almost 3%, now trading at 165. So this is where I was looking at potentially selling some calls. Again, my cost basis is 160.91. So any calls that I can sell above my cost basis would be good. So I could sell the 165, 170, 175. And I looked at the calculator here. So we can do the 175, then we set the 165 and the 170 for the end of the week. And let's just see if we refresh our quotes, what we can get there. So for the 170, that's not... Wait, is this for this week? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can get 72%? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pardon.
Oh, okay, because I wanted to put the 175 in there. There we go. Okay, so let's do the 165 here. So for the 165, I can get almost $3. That's not bad at all. And then finally, we have the 175, which is actually, that's my favorite. That's my preferred. Let's see where we are there. Okay, so that's not enough. This is where we will not get enough premium, only 25 cents. So looking at this, for the 170, I can get 72% annualized. I have 1,100 shares, so this would add another $1,100. Not bad. Here, this would add, around $3,000 for the 165. What are your thoughts looking at the chart here?
Based on what I believe you're interested in getting, I think you should do the 170.
The 170?
I I would be very, very tempted to get that fat premium at 165 just because you've collected a ton of premium and then it's just guaranteed. But I think the 170 is great and it's kind of a meet in the middle.
Okay, I just see that I somehow deleted it out there. So let's go back to the 170 and look at the calculations here. So right now, possibly getting 90 cents. So maybe I'm holding out for $1. Um,
Yeah. Try to put in a fishing for a
Fishing
buck.
order for a
Buy
dollar,
today's
because
dollar rate
this would give
or
me
dollar one.
an additional $1,000 in premium almost. And if we are closing above 170 on Friday, I'm getting called away and I'm making an additional $9,999 on the stock for a total of around 11,000. I kind of like that. I kind
And
of
you
like
might be
this.
able to roll out if you
And I
really
might be
wanted
able
to.
to roll out because today is Wednesday already. So I think I'll try to get a dollar here. So in order to get a dollar, Nvidia would have to rally probably a little bit more, but it's been on a run here. So let's take a look. Again, we are trading close to session highs. I'll try that. I'll try that. I think that'll work.
Yeah, you should be able to get it if yeah, you're gonna get it.
All right, good. That sounds like a plan. Hey, by the way, since we're talking about selling covered calls here, if you don't know exactly what it is and what we have been comparing here, we did a video on this. It's right here. Take a look at this. This is how we like to analyze covered calls. Check it out, and then we'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Happy trading, everybody.